All right, good morning, everyone. So, now from this week, we're gonna see the two-dimensional mediums in art. So the first chapter of the two-dimensional medium is drawing. So let's see. So, drawing has been used as preliminary steps. Um, so many artists have traditionally learned by making drawings of other artists' work. They did so to learn how earlier artists made their images, but also to develop their eye, meaning their taste or preference for the great art of the past. Studying and drawing works from ancient Greece and Rome was a standard practice for Western artists from 15th century well into the 19th century. All right, everyone, can you guess what this drawing is about?
Oh, is it? No.
No.
The only thing I think I see is like a little window at the top.
Yeah, that little animal right there looks kind of like a cow. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that little square there.
It looks like there's animal there too.
Yes. So it seems like an idea sketch with scribble drawing lines, and nobody can assume what is going to be. Here is a hint. Pablo Picasso. Yeah. First composition study for Guernica. Do you remember the Pablo Picasso's work, Guernica, the painting?
Yeah, with the cows in the eyes.
Yeah. So this is the first composition study for Guernica. So
he turned that
yes.
into this.
So this one looks better, right?
Yeah, this is better.
Much better.
So much better. So it looks like a drawing with charcoal, and it shows more detailed plans with settled composition and the flow of emotions by emphasis and subordination. So this is a typical drawing as preliminary steps before the main work of art. So like Pablo Picasso, many of artists use drawing as preliminary steps before they begin with paintings or sculptures because they are hard to fix when they make a mistake. So yes, this is the final version of the work of art, based on the previous drawings. So drawings are not always preliminary steps toward a final work of art in another medium. So today, artists have a wide array of drawing surfaces and materials to choose from. There are dry and liquid media for drawing. Dry media are generally applied directly in stick form, and liquid media are generally applied with a tool such as a pen or a brush. So let's see dry media first. So a graphite drawing. So this is a graphite drawing. So a graphite is a raw material of a pencil. So this is a pencil drawing. A soft crystalline form of carbon first discovered in the 16th century. Graphite is a naturally occurring drawing medium. So pure, solid graphite need only be minded, then shaped into a convenient form. And the next one is metal point. And sometimes it is called like silver point. So metal point, which is the ancestor of the graphite pencil, and it is an old technique that was especially popular during the Renaissance. Few artists use it now because it is not very forgiving of mistakes or indecision. Once put down, the lines cannot easily be changed or erased. The drawing medium is a thin wire made of a relatively soft metal, such as silver, set in a holder for convenience. So let me show you how it works, how the artist use the metal point for the drawing.
Silver point drawing is a drawing technique that utilizes silver in place of ink. This technique was originally used by scribes and artists in medieval times. A traditional silver point stylus is created by inserting a small silver wire into a wooden rod. Silver point is one of several different types of metal point drawing techniques. Lead and tin were most commonly used until silver point gained notoriety in the late Gothic era. Silver was favored because it wouldn't blunt as easily as lead or tin. This allowed artists to make straighter lines and include more detail in their work. Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, and Jan van Eyck were among early Renaissance artists using silver point. Silver point is regarded as a highly unforgiving drawing medium because it is completely permanent. Silver point became phased out of popular use after graphite was popularized in the late 16th century. Despite its fall from favor, artists like Rembrandt and Hendrik Goltzius continued to use silver point into the 17th century. Call the number on your screen or click the link below.
All right. So that was a metal point, the silver point. And the next dry media is charcoal. So charcoal is charred wood. Techniques for manufacturing it have been known since ancient times. The best quality artist charcoal is made from special vine or willow twigs, slowly heated in an airtight chamber until only sticks of carbon remained black, brittle, and feather-light. And the next dry media we are going to see is crayon. Everyone knows crayon. So crayon and pastel are made of powdered pigments, the same as those used to make paints, mixed with a binder. So for crayons, the binder is a greasy or waxy substance. The coloring crayons we give to children, for example, use a wax binder, and finer, denser, more brilliant versions of these crayons have been developed for artists. And pastel as a dry media. So pastel consists of pigment bound with a non-greasy binder, such as a solution of gum arabic or gum tragacanth, excuse me, and water. The principle is simple enough that artists can manufacture their own if they choose, mixing pigment and binder into a doughty paste, then rolling the paste it into sticks and letting it dry. Available in a full range of colors and several degrees of hardness. So pastel is often considered as borderline medium, somewhere between painting and drawing. Artists favor soft pastels for most work, serving the harder ones for special effects or details. Because they are bound so lightly, pastels leave a velvety line of almost pure pigment. So this is Edgar Degas' pastel drawing work. So he was a French impressionist artist with famous pastel drawing and oil paintings. So there is a video in week 5.1 of Model Room. So please watch it after the meeting. You're gonna see diverse pastel techniques through this video. And chalk. So chalk is also one of the dry media for drawing. So chalk is the name for a kind of soft white limestone. In art, the word has been used less precisely to name three soft, finely textured stones that can be used for drawing, such as black chalk, red chalk, and white chalk. So like the graphite, these stones need only be minded and then cut into convenient sizes for use. So I'm gonna show you a video, David Zinn's street artwork with the chalk, which is amazing. See, he drew everything with chalk. Very creative. And he's also creating the three-dimensional illusion.
To be honest, I was just desperately searching for any excuse to be outside on a nice day. My rationalization was that any time an artist is making any kind of art, no matter how ridiculous, he or she is technically doing his or her job.
That's great.
There's always streaks and specks and objects on the sidewalk. And if you stare at them long enough, they start to show you other things that they would like to be. The things I like most about making art on the sidewalk are that it's childish, which makes it a great way to reconnect with that supreme self-confidence we all had as children. It's anonymous, so you don't have to worry about being embarrassed about what you've drawn, because if you don't put your name on it, no one will know it was you. And it's unpreservable. Since the art itself can't be saved or sold or given away, there are fewer distractions from just the joy of drawing for the joy of drawing.
Isn't it amazing?
Those are amazing.
Yes, he's amazing
Yeah.
guy. Yes, I love his work. Okay. Liquid media for drawing. Um, there are pen and ink or brush and ink drawing with for liquid type of the medium. So liquid media is not popular media for drawing. So we're gonna skip this just to remember there are pen and ink drawing and brush and ink drawing for the liquid media. All right. Now let's talk about paper. So paper is essential material for drawing. So we will see what the paper is with a brief paper history and paper as medium. So paper is wool or fibers beaten to a pulp, mixed with water, then spread in a thin layer over a fine mesh surface and left to dry. Our word paper is derived from the Latin word papyrus, which the ancient Romans used to designate both a plant that grew along the banks of the Nile River and writing material that the ancient Egyptians made from it. So let's see a brief paper history. So paper was invented in China in 2nd BCE. Buddhist monks spread news of the paper making technique across Asia. So about 8th century, Muslim arose in Middle East. Muslim played a role as a bridge between China and Europe to spread the paper making technique. So, so the Europeans learned paper making from Muslim neighbors. In 13th century, paper was being manufactured in the West. And after industrial revolution in 19th century, paper began to be produced by machine. And finally, instead of individual sheets, machines manufactured the paper in continuous row. In 20th century, paper had become the ubiquitous material we know today, such as newspapers, magazines, advertising posters, and other products. So now let's see how artists use the industrial paper as one of the artistic mediums beyond traditional drawing. So in 1912, the news, they can manufacture the papers, the industrial papers. The visually reality found is way into, excuse me, art in a revolutionary way. So many artists changed their style from representational to the non-representational. So do you remember the reason why many artists suddenly abandoned the traditional style and for the abstract art? Do you remember the reason? We learned that in the first week of the course. In 19th century, many of the artists abandoned their traditional style.
Because art changed. It changed from paper to using actual, not crayons, but paintings, to do paintings instead of using paper.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons actually. But there is another main reason. Now, many artists used to shout the representational art, like observational art, and they abandoned that, and something was invented, and then they changed to their artwork style to the non-representational style, like abstract style. Something was invented, except for the paper.
I'm remembering this, but
Yeah, we learned that
yeah.
in the first week, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I will let you know. So this is because of the invention of photography.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yes.
I remember now.
Yes, everyone remember it, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we
That's
remember.
true, yes. So except for the paper, photography also invented. So many of artists now shout to the non-representational style. So the artists, they found the industrial paper, so they could use that paper as a medium for their work of art. So please remember the photography and why the artists, changed their style in 19th century because of photography. So this revolutionary steps was taken by Pablo Picasso. So this is Pablo Picasso's work. This is Georges Braque's work, the work of art. So Georges Braque was Pablo Picasso's friend, and he began experiment in earnest with bringing pieces of industrially printed paper, so directly into his abstract drawing like this. So Braque's invention, which was taken up immediately by Pablo Picasso, became known as papier-collé, French for pasted paper, and a broader term for it is collage, from the French for pasting and gluing. So papier-collé is by definition made of paper. Collage does not imply any specific materials. So also Picasso and Braque, many artists adopted this method of composing a picture by gathering bits and pieces from various sources. So let's see collage work as a work genre. So this is Romayer Béarden's mysterious collage work in 1964. What you can see through this work of art, in this collage work,
What did you see, Professor? I'm sorry. Was that some kind of a question?
Yeah. What you can see? Yeah, what you can see through this work of art.
It's like a face, people's face.
Yes, there are.
That one looks like a child.
Yes.
It is a child.
Mm-hmm. So can you guess?
African American faces.
Yes. Yes. Very good. So this, you know, so Bearden was grown up as an African American in rural North Carolina. Um, so African American folk tradition, the quilting in Bearden's hand here, and we can see rhythms and improvisatory nature of jazz. And there is African sculpture on the left face, and there is a train. So there is a train on the left top corner, right? So that means to go to the outside, which is the white world. So through this work, Bearden wants to show African Americans' life and culture in 60s. In the next work. So here's another collage work of art. What you can see through this work of art. What do you feel?
A girl squinch.
There is a girl. How does she look like?
Like she's been curled up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what else?
She looks like a bug.
Yeah.
Like she's an insect.
That's right. Yeah. So so look at this. Look at her hair. So her hair suggests that she is an animal. Yes, it can be insects or animal. And this spotted and marbled body evokes expensive designer fabrics, which shows camouflage or disease.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you see this work closer, we can see some of her body parts consist of, mechanical extensions. This.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the eye, nose, the mouth are pieces of photographs. So this work of art implies deadly conflicts often erupted in African societies. And the last, collage work. So this is a beautiful three-dimensional collage work. How do you think about this work of art?
What is that?
Yeah, what is that? It's just the abstract sculpture.
It seems as if it's paper glued together or something.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought my screen broke. I thought my screen broke when I looked at it. I was like, wait.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an abstract sculpture. Yes, that was the answer. What is that? Yeah. Yeah. So the title is also very, creative.
Oh, it says hide and seek.
Hide and seek, yes. But you know what? It's, believe it or not, this is a drawing. This is a part of collage drawing work of art in a three-dimensional form. So it makes line drawings in brush and ink on large rolls of paper. The cutting out selected area makes versions of the drawings in positive and negative shapes. And it assembles the open work drawings on site to create delicate yet turbulent sculptural forms. So these drawings and their shadows capture a weightless world in flux, frozen in time, tottering on the blink of being and not being. So very creative and unique drawing work of art. All right, so that's it for the drawing chapter. And we have a discussion today, and which is very simple and it can be fun. So, okay, so please everyone, after this meeting, go to week 5, and then please check the week 5.1 drawing page, because there are the videos related to the dry mediums of drawing. So please watch them for your understanding. And so here's today's discussion topic, discussion 5.1. Okay. So simple question. Is drawing a learned skill or a natural talent? So please answer this question by tonight, and by tomorrow, please reply to your peers. Any question?
No.
No,
No
it's very,
questions.
yeah, it's